Hey guys, welcome back. This is Mike from Digital Offensive, and you're watching my walkthrough of Irked from Hack the Box. Today we're going to walk through how to compromise the user and basically get the system on Irked. Irked is a interesting box. It's running IRC, and we're going to go through some enumeration. I'm going to use the tool Auto Recon for the enumeration steps. I used it in the OCP, and there was a lot of people asking me about the tool. So I kind of want to demonstrate the capability of it. It is kind of straightforward. It's not really glamorous. So what first we're going to do here is we're going to copy the IP address of Irked. I'm going to go cd/tool/autorecon. cd/tool/autorecon. All right. And in here I have my autorecon script. So autorecon requires Python version 3. Auto recon, and then basically all we're going to do here is paste the IP address of Irked. Okay, so this is going to run through. And as it starts running, you're going to see some stuff showing up, right? So it's running the service detection of Nmap top 20 UDP ports, Nmap quick against IP address, Nmap full TCP, and it's going to go through all these things. Now, as it goes through all these things, it's going to come across two very interesting ports. First one being port 80, which we're currently here on the website, right? Now, if we go over to Derby or GoBus or anything like that, and we run a enumeration against the website, we're not going to find any hidden applications or anything like that that's going to be useful in this exploitation. So because of that, I'm not going to run through this step. It's just going to waste time. However, the interesting thing it's going to find as it goes through the scripts is it's going to find several IRC ports. Port 6697 as well as several others. So we're going to let Auto Recon go through and do its job, and I'm going to come back to that later on and show you the end results, and we'll kind of walk through it at that point so you just get a good idea of what Auto Recon shows you. So let's actually get into the exploitation and get our initial shell on the box. And the IRC port 6697, we're going to use that to connect. The first thing we want to do is we want to see what exploit we can use for that. So the easiest thing we can do here, to at least get an idea where we want to go with this, right? We're going to just quickly netcat over to that box, right? 6697. And we're going to see it says notice auth, looking up your host name. Okay, so we know it's definitely IRC. Let's do... Okay, couldn't resolve your host name using your IP address instead. All right, let's give that a moment. Let's see here. Xserve, you haven't registered. Okay, no problem. And let's do a quick Google of Nixserve. Let's do a quick Google of that error message. Google IRC error 451. Let's see what we get back here. Basically, the first response comes back, error 451, you have not registered Unreal IRCD. So we have a good idea that it's using Unreal IRCD daemon to host IRC. So what else can we do to check this out, right? We can use a tool called Hex Chat. If you don't have it on your Kali box, you can do apt-get install Hex Chat. But all we want to do here is we're going to type in Hex Chat. Running IRC as root is stupid. Yes, it's definitely stupid. We're going to connect to this new network I already created. I left the name as Irked just to try to fill in some information, see if I could do any enumeration if there's anything there. But really what I'm trying to do is identify the exact version of Unreal IRCD that this box is running. So I'm going to hit connect here. And this is going to try to connect up to the server. So let's see what happens when it connects. We see that it loaded several plugins. We'll hit OK there. And now it's connected, right? So let's look through the connection log. So we see Roxnet IRC network. Host is irked.htb. Running version Unreal 3.2.8.1. So we know it's running this version of Unreal. Let's see here. I want to copy this. So let's highlight that. So we can come over here, go to exploit DB, paste that in, hit enter. Now there's several different exploits out there for this version to get a backdoor. So there is a Metasploit version and there's a Perl version. This one is for Rapid 7. Let's go down to the next one, Exploit DB. Now the Perl version, I didn't get it to work when I first played with it. I may come back and eventually play with it some more to try to edit. Now if you're playing with the Perl version, you want to try to get it to work. One of the keys here that you need to modify in this exploit is basically where these payloads are getting delivered from. And the reason you have to do that is because the boxes in Hack the Box don't have direct internet connection. So when you do a wget from Irked out to the internet, it's going to fail. So you're not going to be able to go out here and download these executables. However, you can go out to those sites and basically download those executables and host them yourself, modify the wget request, and do it that way. I was trying to keep it very simple and only go with one payload, and the one payload method failed for me. No big deal. I'll come back and play with that some more. However, we already knew that there is a Metasploit module for this. So let's kill off this hex chat because we're not going to need that no more. And we closed out hex chat. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to come over to our Metasploit. And inside Metasploit, we can simply do a search for Unreal IRCD, right? And it comes back with the remote command execution version 3.2.8.1, which we're currently using, right? So here we can do a show options, see what options we got to specify. In here, we want to specify our host. So we're going to do a set our host, the IP address of Irked. We're going to do a set of our port, which is 6697. And then basically we're going to set our L host and if we want our L port. In this case, I'm going to leave it as the 4444 for the L port. I know normally I use common ports 443 and things like that, so I know it gets to the firewall. However, I want to use 443 later on to escalate my privileges to a root shell on this box. So with all that stuff in place, the next thing I want to do here is I'm just going to type in exploit. This is going to go through. You can see it's connecting to the IRC server. See our notice auth lookup of your host name, send a backdoor command. We can see that I send the backdoor command, and we can see that we have a interpreter shell. So if we type in shell here, it'll say it's trying to find a way for interactive shell. And now we're at a shell, right? And we can see that we're on this box as the user IRCD. Now, I don't like using this simple shell. Let's kind of make it a little fancier. We'll copy over this. And we'll paste that in. And now we can see we're IRCD at Irked. We're in the folder Unreal 3.2. Now, on this box, we have to actually go from IRCD user to a user called dgmarvdov, and then from there to root. So the first thing we want to do here is we're going to just going to cat the /etc/passwd to see if there's any other users on this box. Now, I knew we had to go to dgmarvdov because inside the IRC home directory, there is not a user.txt. However, if we jump over to cd/home/dj, and we look in here, we're going to find that user.txt. So right off the bat, it's not in just the default home folder, and it's not on the desktop. That kind of threw me for a loop. Just going through the OCP, kind of expecting things to be on the desktop, but right there in that home folder. It's been a while since I've been in Hack the Box. However, if we go to CD Documents, and we do an ls, and here we see user.txt. Now, if we try to access user.txt, it's going to fail, right? So if we do an ls-lai, we can see that the user.txt is only read-write for the actual user, which would be djmarvdov. But we also find this interesting file in here called backup.backup. And that has read access. So let's see what's in that file. So doing this, right, we get this file with this secret messaging. Super elite steg backup password. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, BA, select, start. For those who are of that generation, you may remember that as the 30 life Contra code, as well as possibly other Nintendo codes from back in the day. Nothing like booting up your Nintendo, loading up Super Contra and punching that code in and 30 lives. It also worked on a game called Jekyll, which you're these little Jeeps that you drove around shooting things up. Awesome games. Throw back to the retro days of like 80s, 90s playing Nintendo. Now, knowing that this is a steg password, I only came across one image on the box, and that was this image. When I first came here, I kind of thought maybe it was Stego in this right here. You kind of can make out some words in here. However, this is a graphic from like a free web host or free image host. And basically that's what that data was. So I kind of passed that over the first time through. But when I came back to this, I grabbed this password. And with the password, I just went out and Googled what it was. Just to see what else was out there. And I already knew the reference of that, what it meant. However, it brought me to this steganographic decoder right away. So I don't know if something about this site and that password's been used before. However, and I'm sorry, it keeps going back and forth. I'm hitting Control V. I mean Command V because I'm on my Mac. I'm so used to doing that. So we're going to use the image. We already downloaded the image. So if we go over to our root, we're going to go Irked. And we're going to select that image. We're going to leave it as text type plain. And we're going to do submit query. And here it gives us this value, right? So using this value, we know that that user's there. So let's just do a SU to that user, DJ Marv Dove, hit enter, paste that password, and boom, we're now that user. So we go to CD documents, do a ls-la. Now we can do a cat user.text, and now we have the user.text. Not too hard to get user.text. So the next thing we can do here is we can download our enumeration scripts to start doing. Here is let's download my favorite tool, linenum.sh. So let's jump over our temp directory. All right, so let's do a wget. All right. Now that we downloaded linenum.sh, we're going to run this. I'm going to mode first. And now we're going to do /linenum.sh-t. T basically enables thorough testing, which will give us all our sewage files. This is going to go through. And we're going to take a look at this. All right, let's give this a second to complete. All right, it's getting completed. Let's scroll all the way to the top. Let's start through the top and go through so you can just follow my process. Okay. Okay, so we're at the top of the file here. We look at the kernel version. So we have the version of the kernel running. See what else we got here. The hostname Irked, user groups. Okay, username. We can see where they last logged in from. Group memberships. So nothing that really jumped out at me in any of this data really yet. I can go looking for a kernel exploit maybe, but I know that's really not the path to go, so I kind of want to look for other methods to get in. We can get a list of users here, root, DJ Mardov, and RCD. We got one super account here. Got a bunch of files because world readable files in your home directory. Basically, you can read them because you are that user. So, of course, all that data is going to come up. Home directory. It wasn't until I got down to the sewage files did we really find anything of real interest here, right? So in here, we have a file called userbin/view user. And this one jumped out at me as well as the /x one. The other ones are common. I've seen them on other machines before. The view user and the X kind of made me think for a moment and jump out and kind of do some additional research. So as I did additional research, I looked at the dates as well when these files were on the box. This 2018 kind of jumps out at me, being as the newest file in this box only being released a few months back within 2018. So I decided to look at that file first. So we copy that file and we paste it in, right? Let's try it again. Basically, when we paste that in, we get a response back that says, the application is being developed to set and test user permissions. It's still being actively developed. So this definitely is not something common found. It says unknown 0, 2019, the date, the time. Then it says sh. So it's basically trying to run the sh command against /temp/list users and saying it's not found. So this looks like it's trying to run a shell command or using the shell to execute my command. So let's try this. So basically what we're going to do here is, if this is doing what I think it's doing, it's basically going to execute my command cat/root.txt, right? So we're going to get the root flag right away. But we're not going to stop there. If this works, we're going to actually go get a real shell. Because we want to keep in style the OSCP. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to rerun this command /user/bin. And we get permission denied. So let's change the permissions of that file, just to make sure that's not the problem. Okay, so it worked when we got the root flag here. Very simple, right? Very simple script. Now, another way to look at this, this box just doesn't have these tools installed, but I also downloaded this program to my local machine and ran it through a debugger to do some additional research on the file. You can run commands like strace, ltrace, strings on this command to look at this stuff. So let's look at strings on this. So you can just do some additional research for your own mind if that sh did not automatically jump out at you. So in here, we can see some basic commands. Up here, we see this application is being developed to set and test our permissions. It's still being actively developed, /temp/list users. And then basically we have a 2%. So it's basically looking for an input. So it's basically going to take that input in and try to run it. This is not extremely helpful. It kind of like made me think a little bit about it. The best way to do is, as I said, is download and run through a debugger. Or if you automatically realize that sh is a typical shell. I see that a lot when we're doing exploits and something doesn't work. To the point where I realized that right away. I was able to quickly just edit the code and pop in what I needed to do. So knowing that works, let's also then let's create a shell, right? So I like to use netcat without netcat because this version of netcat doesn't have the -e that's on this box. So we're going to come back over to Irked. And we're going to do echo, paste this in, and /temp/list users. So that's going to put our command in there. We're going to do an nc-lvp over here, 443. Word listing on 443. And we're going to come back over to our box here. We're going to do a /user/bin/view-user. That's going to run actively being, it's trying to do something. Okay, so it looks like we got our connection. If we do an ID, we're root, host name, Irked. All right, we'll come back over here, grab this. By now, I should know how to just type this all out. I'm just lazy. Okay, so we're root at Irked, cd/root, ls, cat pass.txt. And you can see this is the password of that DJ Mardove, which we found through that stego image. And if we do a cat root.txt, we have our root flag, and we also have a root account. Very simple box, kind of cool. I kind of been looking for a box that they brought some stego, cool that they took the stego aspect of that and kind of threw it in here. Definitely on the simpler side to get through, but still a very cool box to do. On this box, you see we got the root shell, we got the root flag. Let's jump back over to our auto recon data, right? So you can see auto recon is now finished. It took a little while to get through. However, you can see that out of it ran it, it found several ports. Now, one thing you're going to notice here, right? See how this is messed up? If you just type in reset without looking at your screen, it fixes it. So inside, if you go to CD results, you're going to see the IP addresses we ran against. So CD 10.10.10.117, because this is the box we just scanned. CD scans, and you can see all the data that I ran. So in here we can look at stuff. So let's say we want to do a cat, say underscore full TCP and map.txt. So we can see all the TCP ports that showed up in our scan, right? We also saw that we ran against a web server. And this is one of the cool things I like about this. You get the robots.txt and what web. What web is pretty cool. And also you get NICTO information as well. So it's kicking off NICTO, and it's running a multitude of different nmap scripts against the host. So we're going to do a cat on, let's just say NICTO. Okay. So we can see what it ran against the NICTO server. So I found some information here. And then we can do the same thing against the other one, right? And then we can run against what web, and you can see all the information about the web server, the version of the web server, the response from the web server, as well as the headers of the web server, which is pretty cool. This is a great tool, very helpful, but you still have to do some manual aspects to make that data helpful to you. So for Irked, basically we did our enumeration, we found some interesting ports, we did some manual enumeration of the IRC server to get the exact version of the IRC server. There is an nmap plugin to grab the IRC version. It did not work for me, so I basically used the hex chat just to connect to it to get the exact information. And you saw that worked, right? I got the exact version of the Unreal IRCD server. I was able to go to exploit DB, find a working vulnerability, and exploit that to get my initial shell. Once on the box, we basically escalated to the user DJ marvdov, and from there we were able to finally escalate to root. Guys, if you like these videos, make sure you subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you click the bell at the top corner there to be notified when new videos come out. Now that the OSTP is done, I'm trying to get more technical videos out there. Hopefully this was good for you guys. Stay tuned. I'm currently studying for my GX Pen, so I'm going to have a mix of technical videos as well as just Path to GX Pen coming out. I have less than 30 days left. I'm just about ready to complete book 1 of that. So I have 4 more books to read in the next 30 days to get this done and ready to go study and take that exam. So give it a big thumbs up. Thanks again, guys. Till next time,